Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dash of Gratitude. My name is Beth, and in today's video, I'm bringing you some fall dinner inspiration. This first recipe is very basic. It's a pasta with a red meat sauce. It is a staple in our house because it's Robbie's absolute favorite dinner. It's always his request if he's asked. So let's get into it. On the side, I'm preparing crescent rolls stuffed with this boursin, garlic, and fine herb cheese. It is so delicious. I have a basic meat sauce. It's a red meat sauce cooking up here on the stove. And I'm about to put together some crescent rolls. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread out these crescent rolls into the triangle shapes that they are. I'm gonna spread a little bit of this boursin cheese. And I know it says happy holidays. It's been in my freezer, and so we're finally getting to use it up. It's gonna be really good. This cheese freezes really well. And then we're going to serve our meat sauce over the fall shaped pasta. I picked this up from Aldi not long ago. A little bit of fall vibes we've got going on, some comfort food. It's gonna be delicious. And I'm just gonna bake these according to the directions on this package. This is also my first time using this brand of crescents from Aldi. Usually I buy the name brand. So we're gonna see how this goes today. These actually seem a lot fluffier than the Pillsbury brand. I'm usually one to stick with the name brand of certain items, like these crescent rolls, for example. I usually always buy the Pillsbury brand, but I'm glad that I tried the Aldi because these were so good, maybe even better than the Pillsbury. So, you know, you just never know till you try, and I'm so glad I tried these. Plus, they are a little bit less expensive, which is an added bonus. But you know, sometimes you just change things up a little bit. This might be amazing, it might not. We're gonna find out. So we're gonna roll this carefully. Here's a funny little tidbit about Robbie. He doesn't like bread, but whenever I make homemade biscuits, if there's a tiny one, like little bitty, he'll eat it. So I wonder if he'll eat this tiny crescent. I'll have to let you know. All right, that used up almost that whole cheese, just a little bit left. Can you even look at how beautiful these look? Oh my gosh, they smell so good, you guys. Look at that tiny one. I wonder if Robbie will eat it. It's so cute.
It is a mini biscuit, and I'm gonna eat it.
Is it good? Boy. So like I said before, pasta with meat sauce is a staple in our house. We probably have it once a week for real. I mean, that's just real life. But I love the fall pasta. It was really, really tasty. And the crescent rolls with that cheese inside elevated this so much. It was really, really good. In our family, we love chicken pot pie. Not too long ago, we thought about what it would be like to make a beef pot pie. We'd never made one before. We had some canned goods in our pantry that we wanted to go ahead and use up. And so we gave this recipe a try. Olivia actually made it first. It turned out so good. Part of our family even liked it better than chicken pot pie. And yes, we used canned beef. It's actually really, really tasty. I was surprised. I'm picky when it comes to meat, and that Keystone canned beef is really good. I do like that it's all natural. It's cooked in there's only 2 ingredients, beef and sea salt. So that's really nice. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use a prepared pie crust. We want this pack of 2, so we can have a bottom crust and a top crust. You can use any brand pie crust you like. For the filling, we're gonna use 1 28-ounce can of beef and 1 29-ounce can of Veg All Original. Then to that, we're gonna add 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. We're gonna season with pepper, which I'm just gonna sprinkle, I'm not gonna measure that. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce and then a ½ teaspoon of thyme. We're gonna mix it all together, put it into the pie crust, bake it. It's gonna be delicious. So these pie crusts have come up to a room temperature. And let's see, they might be a little difficult to work with. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this pie crust on the bottom, we're gonna take it and put it right into our pie dish. I'm just gonna fold it and press it up over. Now, I said this before in another video where I made pie, that my pies always come out rustic. Olivia has such a talent and a touch with pie crust. Hers always turn out beautiful, but she is busy at the moment and can't help me, and that's totally fine. So I'm doing this on my own. All right, I've got this pressed in. So I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm gonna pop the bottom crust in for about 5 minutes just to get it pre-cooked a little bit. And then I'm going to drain this can of vegetables. I'm going to put it into a glass bowl with about a ½ stick of butter, and I'm going to melt the butter over the vegetables. So this has been in the microwave and the butter's not quite melted yet. I'm just going to give it a stir. So I'm going to add this cream of mushroom. So I had to come over and do some more voiceover because it got rather loud in my house. We had some company come over for dinner, and Robbie was full steam ahead on the piano. It just got really loud and rowdy. Typical family life at dinner time. It was fine, but it was very loud. So anyway, I do encourage you to try this recipe. And let me tell you what really inspired us to give this recipe a try. We have been building up a small food storage. And in our food storage, we have several types of canned meat. And so I was like, what am I going to do with this canned meat? I got to learn how to cook with it. So that was the main reason. I was trying to find a way to use some canned beef. It was really, really good. Like I said before, I was surprised at how good that beef is. Of course, you could use roast or stew meat or whatever that you have, whatever you prefer. It's your kitchen, your rules. But this recipe is so good, and I do hope that you will give it a try. It's savory, it's filling, makes really good leftovers. And I do have to say also, whenever you bake the pie crust, I think the recipe says like 350 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. We usually cook it a lot longer because for whatever reason it takes quite a bit, several more minutes to really brown up the crust nicely. So maybe that's just our oven, but that has been our experience. This filling made so much. I didn't know if it was all going to fit into one pie crust, and obviously you can see I prepared 2. But the filling made such a robust pie. This is really so good. 5-star beef pot pie. In case it's not clear, I did actually double the entire recipe. I just only talked through a single recipe for the sake of the video, but I always cook big because we love to have leftovers. Then I'm just going to take a knife, I'm going to cut a few little slits into the center so that the pie can vent as it's cooking. And you can be elaborate, you can make it basic. Today I'm putting Mississippi chicken into the crock pot, although I normally don't have all of the exact required ingredients for the official recipe, but this is what I'm gonna do here today. We're gonna add chicken breasts into the crock pot with 1 packet of Italian seasoning dressing, 1 cap full, I'm gonna fill this cap full of bone broth gravy. I'm gonna add in a few of these Greek peppers, the pepperoncinis, and then a little bit of butter to melt over top, and it'll all come together really nicely in the crock pot. We've got a busy day with homeschool today. We're gonna be away from the house. We'll come home for dinner and then we gotta go back out again. So crock pot is coming in as the hero today.
Hello. Mississippi chicken for dinner tonight.
So to measure out this bone broth gravy, so the recipe calls for au jus gravy, but I usually don't have that on hand, and I do like to keep this on hand. So I just fill 1 capful with this gravy mix and add it right in.
We had pizza for dinner.
All right, Robin, you're right. I'm trying to.
I love pizza.
Robert. And these peppers are so good. I personally love them. I like to put lots of peppers and then just a splash of the juice. This can be kind of spicy. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, like I said, just like a little 1 spoonful of juice, extra flavor. We're gonna pop on the lid, set it to low, and it'll be ready for dinner tonight. I'm sure everybody else feels this way too, but don't you love coming home to the smell of something delicious coming from the crock pot? That's like one of my favorite days. Alongside this Mississippi chicken, I cooked some rice in chicken broth and steamed some broccoli. Y'all, this meal gets a full chef's kiss from me. It is scrumptious. Thank you so much for adding a dash of gratitude to your day. I hope this video brought you some inspiration for your own kitchen. If it did, please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next video.